thought I had it good.
There.
Give us some background. How many people were here?
Well, we had close to 500,000 people here, and another 1.5 million on the road trying to get in. The New York State Thruway was closed, Route 17 out here, all the exits were closed down. Just couldn't fit any more people into the county. This field here is 37.5 acres. Now you couldn't possibly fit 500,000 people in that 12 space. We say 500,000, that's the ripple effect of where we are right now. The stage is right there where that flat area is, right there. Well, I came here in 1969. I was living in Texas at that time. And, you know, we got wind of this great event that they were having, you know.
How old were you, Dick?
I was 26 years old at that time. You know, they came out with a pamphlet, you know, a little flyer, and on that flyer, you know, it had the, you know, the list of the performers, you know, and it was the who's who of the culture of that time. And you know, then it says, you know, it's going to be on a farm, and it's going to be for 3 days, and there's going to be an Indian village and a petting zoo, and on the bottom it said, breathe air that's never been breathed before. So you couldn't help but want to go to that, you know, the circles that I was hanging in at that time.
It just went through word of mouth, like that?
Well, they had the flyers. I'd say that, you know, the college crowd was targeted for this event, you know, the younger people. And me and this other fellow, we hitchhiked up here. Took us 4 or 5 days to get up here. Matter of fact, him and I got separated out here at the end of the road, and I haven't seen him since. But maybe he's with you guys. I don't know.
How old are you now, dude?
I'm going to be 73 in August.
How long have you been doing this work here at the site?
Ever since it opened, yeah. I mean, I've been, you know, I could walk home from here. I just live up the road, and you know, I had a farmer's market, me and my wife, and I would ride by here, and I'd see people here looking around at the field, didn't know where they were, and I would stop, and I always had a picture of the crowd, you know, in the back of my pickup truck, and I would stop and I would show it to them, you know, and, you know, just to help them out, because I know they came from afar and they really wanted to know. They're thinking the stage was here, but you know, I've been doing this for quite some time, you know, and I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing the experience that we had here, you know. And I'm kind of proud of what we did back then. You know, it was a great event. You know, that sense of community that we all had here was like really, you know, I am you and you are me, and we cared for each other, you know. Everybody was expecting the worst. Everybody, even the people in this area, before Woodstock, people would come up the road, they were expecting lawless people, which didn't turn out to be that way, you know. Turned out to be a wonderful thing. The press was very hard on Woodstock when it first started, but at the end they softened.
What are 2 or 3 things that stand out in your mind from that event?
Well, one of the greatest things was the stage present was from Max Yasger, the local dairy farmer, whose property we were on right now. This was an alfalfa field, which is a high protein hay. And Max got up on that stage, and he God blessed us all for being here, you know, and he made a little speech, and it made us really feel, you could feel that, you know, it was wholesome, you know. The farmer was welcoming us to the site, and it was, I'll never forget that. I got to know Max after the show, and he was just a wonderful man, you know. And well, you know, of course, in some of the entertainment here was the greatest at that time, you know, in our culture, you know. And I was really thrilled by that. And but you know, everybody was, you know, everybody was looking out after each other. I mean, it was probably the safest weekend I ever had in my life. I mean, I just really enjoyed it. I mean, when they said peace and love, it was peace and love, you know. And you know, that I think, you know, in my heart that it was it's a spiritual happening here, you know. I mean, where we have peace and love, you know, we have the Lord. That's the way I look at it.
Did you stay when you came?
Did I stay?
Yeah,
well, I'm still here.
No, I mean, you came to New York, you hitchhiked here.
No, I never went back.
You never went back?
No. I met a local girl here, and
you said I'm staying.
No, I didn't say that. It just happened, you know. I had no intentions. My intentions didn't have any intentions back then. I mean, I just did what I did, and you know, and here I am today. You know, I just I'm breathing air that's never been breathed before.
What was your livelihood over the years?
Well, I got into farming. Right after Woodstock, I landed a job in a dairy farm right across the road here, just to get enough money to get out of town. And you know, I kind of fell in love with the community. Look, I mean, look at the beauty here. I mean, the beauty, the content of the people's character around there, just as beautiful as the scenery. I mean, everybody was treating me so well. And then, like I said, my wife, and you know, rest is history. Yeah. Yep.
What's your wife's name?
Pat.
When you stand at this place and look out, and it's an empty field now, the people aren't here anymore, what comes to mind for you?
What always comes to mind to me is that sense of community that we all had here, that you know, wonderful gathering we had. You know, this was like the world's biggest commune, the world's first water park. I mean, everything was happening here. It was just nice, you know. It was a pleasure.
Are you musical yourself? Do you play any instruments?
Well, I play a few things, but I wouldn't put myself in these guys' class. And you know, I putter. Drums.
Drums?
Yeah. Percussion, they call it today.
So, did you have a favorite group when they were here?
Oh, come on. That's like asking who my favorite child is.
Okay.
I'd have to say that, you know, Alvin Lee from 10 years after, he did a tremendous piece called I'm Going Home. Sly and the Family Stone did an audience participation. Want to take you higher, and everybody was just off their feet with that. Of course, you had the king and the queen of the culture, Jimmy and Janice, you know. And yeah.
Okay.
So everybody who was here, who performed here, is on that monument then?
Everybody here was.
This is a full list of their performers.
Yes, that's yeah.
So nobody was left off.
Man. Huh?
Nobody was left off of it then.
No, there was a group, a couple of groups that didn't show. They're not on it.
Oh, and was that the worst thing for their whole history of their lives? I was invited to Woodstock and I didn't show.
Yeah, one of them was down at the airport down in New York City. Said, "You come send limousines down for us, pick us up." And they said, "You don't know what's going on up here. You're gonna have to get up here the best way you can." So, well, we're not coming.
Well,
Now, this is where we are, right here in this corner, right here, right now. Right down here. You want to get on the other side over here, somebody? Thank you. Thank you. There we go. So this is what it looked like from the helicopter in 1969. And like I said, I'm trying to get my pointer out here. This is where we are here right now. The stage is straight down there, like I told you. And if you look across the road behind you, you'll see a barn over there. Now that little barn over there wasn't back there then. But exactly where that barn sits today, we have this pole structure. You can see part of the pole sticking out. It was like a big wagon wheel. That was the artist pavilion. That's where we kept the entertainers. When the call came to go on stage, they went up this ramp, the bridge over the road, up onto the stage. This here was all vending up in here. You see these like little teepee type things? That was all vending. Hamburgers, hot dogs, soft drinks, and such. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, now that you see it a contrast to today, when you see this beautiful performance, what does that mean to you?
Oh, well, you know, I mean, this is, I never imagined this, you know, I mean, they did such a beautiful job here in putting it all together. It's just, I mean, people come from all over the world just to come here, and a lot of these artists that perform here, the very first thing out of their mouth is, what a beautiful place, what a beautiful place. And you can see for yourself that it is.
The Tabernacle Choir existed back then. Did you know about them, and did you ever think they would show up?
I never heard of it. No, I never heard of it. And if I did, I probably wouldn't be too interested. Just by the sounds of it back then. But you know, now today I'm more mature and I understand. You know, it's like when we opened up here for the very first time. We opened up at the New York Philharmonic. You know, and I thought, oh, who wants to listen to that? You know, so they gave me a very nice seat to sit. The primo seat. And I thought, now I have to sit to this all night long. I can't even get out of here. Well, as soon as they struck up the band, and that was the first song that they came up with, Strike Up the Band, I was just thrilled by them, you know, which I'm looking forward to tonight, to hearing them.
Have you heard the choir live before?
Never heard them live. I've been doing some research on them, even though I've heard them over the years on different TV presentations, and yeah, well, I'm looking forward. Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
I know I am.
Did you
I can't wait.